Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I'm going to work on this project that has been elusive for a little while here. I haven't been able to finish it up, but I did start it, or my wife actually started it. She cut around the old piece of wood here, and this is maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. It's not very thick. Maybe 1/4 tops. The only thing is you don't want to go too thick because the old one is really super thin. So what this is the backing for the back seat, and this is really a specialized project. So I mean, you know, you may have an upholstery shop do this, but we decided to tackle it. So basically what we did is took the old one off of the back seats, off of the 4Runner, and this is for a 2000 4Runner. Now you may have another vehicle that is like this, that has a backing, and so after you replace the carpet, or the back portion of the carpet, you may have to put these back on the back of your seats. So what we did was, these actually had glue on them or spray adhesive, and so we took all the carpeting off, and then they had staples going all the way around the edge. And so what we ended up doing, we ended up going to Home Depot and found a similar size board. Like I said, I believe this is 1/8 of an inch thick. And so we lined up all the holes and then drew outlines of them. And what I'm doing today is actually using a 5/8 drill bit, and I'm going to go ahead and drill all these holes bigger to where I can fit these in. And these are just going to go in through the back side and then out, and then that way they'll be ready to put into the 4Runner. So go ahead and start these. Make them nice and round all the way around. And the other holes were done with smaller drill bits, so that's what we used to start the holes, just a little bit smaller drill bits. Okay, once you get all those holes finished, all you'll need to do is take some sandpaper and just scrape around every hole, a little bit to the inside there if you need to. And then if you need to open up the space between the hole and where the pin is going to sit at, you can use some pliers or whatever you have. Just open up that hole a little bit. Looks like this one might need to be opened up some more. This hole might need to be opened up a little more. You don't want to go too big because all you need to do is fit this centerpiece into there, and then it'll slide up in there, so you don't need to open it up too much. all those opened up and sanded down. Go ahead and grab a few of these. Now these vary. Now I found these on, I think it was Amazon or one of the other websites. And so you just want to make sure you just match up your old pins or your old, call these exactly, Lanty clips for GM. So these were really the best replacements I could find for the 4Runner, for the upholstery clips. So really you just have to match up what yours look like, but this was the closest to ones that were taken out of the old piece of wood. So you'll match it up this way, and so the smooth side is what came off of the upholstery side. So you'll want to put the pin in through the back like that. You may need to open these up a little bit more. Perfectly normal. And then once you get it pushed through, just try to fit it into that slot there, and you don't want to go all the way down, just go to the top there. If you did a pretty good job at sanding, you should be able to push it up in there. So once you get it up in there, just make sure it gets all the way in like that, and then just keep working your way around. This is what they're going to look like before you put them in your vehicle. So all the clips are in and pushed all the way into the small holes. That way they'll line up. So we've got the left and then we've got the right. So they're pretty much identical, just a mirror image. And I did measure the board. It is 1/8 of an inch thick. So that's what I'm using to put back into it. Before you get your back panel secured to your seat, what you want to do is just make sure that these clips are going to fit in those holes. And so what I had to do, I had to take a grinder and grind off the majority of the sides here. And then the clips actually look like this. Get a good focus on that. So compared to the new clips, what you're really doing is taking it down to the bottom of that cone and all the way down. And so just make sure your holes all line up. Once you have your seat laying flat and you have your holes all lined up with the board, with the hardboard, what you'll want to do is take your spray adhesive, and I'm using 3M 45, but I have a 77 I think also. So whatever spray adhesive you want to use, you want to spray both surfaces. So spray the carpet and the hardboard. So you'll want to spray both sides and let it sit for about 15 seconds. And don't worry about spraying the ends or the edges. We'll do that later. So once you let it set for about 15 seconds, you'll pull the carpet forward and make sure your pins don't push in, or your retaining clips don't push in to the back of your seat. So it's been about 15 seconds. So just take your carpet, pull it as far forward as you can. Just smooth it out. This bottom edge is curved over, so you'll just want to make sure that that goes around your heartboard. Just smooth it out a little bit. So you'll know for sure that this is going to fit exactly when it's all the way down. Now you may have a little bit of a gap here when it's up, but that's not going to be that big of a deal. Once you get it all smoothed down, you want to make sure you have enough room to work. So we'll put this seat down. I already put a seat cover on it, and the back is already finished. So we'll put this seat down, and then we'll pull this seat back, or the back of this back, and then we'll work on securing the sides of it. Now once I've got the carpet stuck to the backer board here, the hardwood board, I'll go ahead and just spray the edge probably about halfway up. I've got 3/8 staples to go into the sides, so I'll spray it first. Let it get a little bit tacky. So I'll wait about 15 seconds or so, and then I'll go ahead and fold it over, and then I'll start stapling at the bottom and just work my way up. So I'll go ahead and push that over. And I'll go ahead and staple. That staple in all the way. And so that'll hold it down really well if it goes in straight. And then when you get about halfway up, you may need to spray some more adhesive just along the edges. Go ahead and continue with the staple gun. And I found that 3/8 is perfect for this size hardwood board. It doesn't go all the way through, and if it does, you can't feel it on the other side. So it's about the perfect length. So when you get to the corners, you may have to cut a little bit into it, and that way you can fold it over, and you just keep doing the same thing all the way across. And then around these corners, you'll just have to cut slices in the edges, and that way the carpet will fold over, and then just do your best not to overlap. So you may need to take out like a part of one side and then a part of the other, and then just staple them down together, And that's usually the best way. Like this seam right here, I just cut out when I closed them together, and then I just stapled them together. Oh, it'd be nice if I held the camera on it. So as you can see here, I just pinched the two together and then cut off the excess, and then I went ahead and stapled both sides with adhesive underneath. Now these edges are all ready to be sealed and stuck down. You can see how I cut little triangles out of the corners, and that way I'll be able to push them together, and then I'll just staple them both down to the board. I'll go ahead and spray the bottom section of this just to make it stick a little bit better. We can go ahead and line up all the holes, and then we'll push it in. You may have to pull it a little forward just to get it to line up. Once you get all lined up, push them all in. And that's the finished product on the back. And that black is not exactly going to match, because if you saw the other video where we replaced the carpet, this is actually a charcoal color, whereas the seats are a black and a blue. So it is pretty close. It's a pretty close color match there. Here it is all finished. Now this is with the seat covers on. Well, I hope this has been helpful. This has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Good luck on your next home or automotive project, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.